Are you a big fan of zombies? Are you curious about some anime that have an MC that is among the dead? Well, you're in luck, as this is a place to come to find out. Welcome back to Comet's Top 5, so today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 5 anime where the MC is among the dead. If you want to see more content like this, make sure to like this video, hit that subscribe button, and click that bell icon for notifications on upcoming content. With that said, let's jump right into our top 5 list, shall we? Number 5, Kabaneri of the Iron Fortress. You know we had to start off our list with a good one, and what better anime to start off a list about the undead than Kabaneri of the Iron Fortress. In a world where Kabana have pushed humanity to the brink of extinction, humans survive living in cities built around major train station hubs. Surrounded by big walls, surviving by traveling from one train station to the next, humanity fights off the undead horde of Kabana, who are insanely strong and insanely fast zombies with a molten iron cage around their hearts, making it very difficult to kill them. That is until we are introduced to our MC of the anime, Ikuma, who develops a bolt gun strong enough to pierce their heart cages. During the fall of his station, he confirms his bolt gun works, but is bitten by a Kabana in the process. Before he is turned, he cuts off circulation by bolting a system in place that keeps the virus from reaching his brain. This turns our MC into a Kabaneri. Now a half human and half Kabana, he has to walk the fine line between human and monster. But he is not the only Kabaneri, as we are also introduced to his partner in crime, Mume. If you're looking for an epic undead story with some pretty badass MCs, then Kabaneri of the Iron Fortress is the anime for you. Number 4, Zombieland Saga. Zombieland Saga isn't your typical zombie anime. Yes, it does have undead flesh-eating monsters, but not in the way that you would think. Zombieland Saga follows 7 pop idols from different time periods who are brought back to life against their will to form the next up-and-coming pop idol group to save Saga's declining idol business. The whole purpose of forming this pop idol group is to save the Saga prefecture, and man, is it a roundabout way of doing it. Although the reasons why Kotaro Tatsumi brought back these 7 pop idols from different eras remains a mystery, I gotta say, it is a fun relief getting to see zombies in a fashion that is funnier and more comedic than your typical flesh-eating horror flick. The story mainly focuses on Sakura, who just can't catch a break when it comes to unfortunate events in her life. When she finally sets her mind on becoming a pop idol, she is hit by Truck-kun right outside of her house. To say she has bad luck is an understatement, but when she is revived, she is one of the first zombies to regain her consciousness, even though she has no memory of her life before becoming a zombie. Of course, nobody knows these girls are zombies, and they do their best to hide it from the world as they become up-and-coming pop idols. If you're looking for a more comedic zombie anime, don't skip out on Zombieland Saga. Number 3, Tokyo Ghoul. Ever think you just have the worst of luck? Well, you wouldn't be alone, as all it took for King Kanake to become a ghoul was for him to take an interest in a ghoul who wanted to kill him, and then got into an accident and had her organs transplanted into him. Being fused with body parts of the ghoul Riza turned Kin into a half-ghoul, making his life a living nightmare, as to continue living, Kin would have to consume living flesh. Unable to accept this new reality, Kin finds himself in some precarious situations, including being kidnapped and tortured to the brink of insanity. This altered his personality quite a bit, as now he valued his survival over his humanity, causing him to consume other ghouls to get stronger. This allowed him to not only survive, but protect the people in the ghoul community that he had grown fond of. Unfortunately, his noble goal turns sour as the constant consumptions of other ghouls leads him to losing touch with his humanity, turning him into a true monster. This leads him to join Aogiri Tree, a ghoul organization, and he does some pretty crazy things to protect those he cares for and stop the war between ghouls and humanity. Overall, Tokyo Ghoul is an anime worth giving a shot if you're looking for an MC who initially struggles against the hand he is dealt, but ultimately gives into the carnage. Number 2, Is This a Zombie? Are you looking for a super comedic cross-dressing MC who's also a zombie? Well then, Is This a Zombie is the anime for you, as it follows the MC Ayumu Akawa, who was brought back to life as a zombie by the necromancer Alicia Wood Hellscythe after being brutally murdered. Upon being brought back, Akawa begins to look for the person who murdered him, and inadvertently runs into and takes the powers of Haruna, a magical garment girl with a chainsaw. Now, to fight off the growing appearances of demons known as Megalos, Akawa must use Haruna's magical chainsaw to turn into a garment girl and defeat them. Oh, did I mention the chainsaw also talks too? Now, I know I said this was a zombie anime, and it is. He gets hit and stabbed and shot many times throughout the show. He just happens to be a zombie who is also a temporary garment girl, who lives with a necromancer, a former garment girl, and a vampire ninja. To say Akawa's life is a bit hectic is an understatement, but even though he at many times times, has to cross-dress to defeat demons? Is This a Zombie is a comedic anime you just gotta watch, because it's fucking hilarious. Now, we can't have a top 5 list without some honorable mentions. Sankaria, Undying Love. Now, Undying Love had to get some attention, even though it's only an honorable mention, due to the fact that it's a really well done anime that focused on our MC, Chihiro Fuyura, who is a big zombie fanatic, taking care of the recently deceased and resurrected Ria Sanka. What makes this anime so compelling as a zombie anime is the fact that it deals with the very real emotions behind not coping properly after losing someone you love. In this case, Fuyura couldn't let his cat Babu go, so he creates a resurrection potion that brings Babu back to life. Now, another aspect of this anime that is very well done is the struggles Ria faces being from a prestigious family and all of the emotional pressure that comes with it, having an abnormal father that gives her no freedom. This leads Ria to drink the potion in hopes the poison ingredient would kill her. Unfortunately, it does not, but upon being confronted by her father, she's accidentally pushed off of a cliff and dies. Luckily for Ria, the potion worked and brought her back to life. It is at this point the anime does a bit of a 180, focusing on how death released her from the chains of her former life and allowed her to essentially live again as a normal girl. If you are looking for an anime that hits on some pretty deep psychological issues in a more comedic way, then Sankaria, Undying Love is worth a watch. Resident Evil Infinite Darkness. Now, I know this might come as a shock, but Resident Evil Infinite Darkness had to make our list when it comes to zombie anime, and here is why. Resident Evil Infinite Darkness takes place between the Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil 5 video games, with the Resident Evil 2 protagonists, Leon and Claire, as the main characters dealing with their lives after the events of Raccoon City. Claire is working to help rebuild schools and hospital facilities in Panamistan when she stumbles across a zombie conspiracy involving the Panamistan Civil War 6 years prior. Leon, on the other hand, is assigned a job at the White House alongside Jason and Shin Mei to figure out who is behind the recent hacker attack and zombie outbreak at the White House. What is great about this anime is how it almost feels like you are watching the video game story unfold, giving us some cool filler between the 4th and 5th installments. If you're looking for an anime that has a good story, is based on the Resident Evil video games, and despite being CGI is really good, then Resident Evil Infinite Darkness is for you. Number 1, High School of the Dead. Are you really surprised to see the High School of the Dead is our number 1 pick when it comes to anime where the MC is among the dead? It not only has a huge cult following due to the author dying young and never finishing the story, but it is considered among most the best zombie anime out there to date. This anime follows a group of students during the zombie outbreak as they try to survive the social collapse of society in Japan, while also trying to hold on to their own morality as they make their way out of the outbreak zone. Not only does it have decent character development for the main characters, but they also face off against a villain who isn't the flesh-eating zombies. Who would think that the collapse of society would pull out the worst in human nature when it comes to survival? With that said, it is a zombie-based storyline, so no one is safe. If you're looking for a good zombie anime where you don't know who is going to live and who is going to die, then High School of the Dead is worth a watch. Well, that's all I've got for you today. What did you think of our top 5 picks? What zombie anime would you have added or changed? You can let us know by dropping a comment down below. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, as well as smashing both that subscribe button and bell icon to stay updated with our latest content as it comes out. As always, thanks for tuning into Comet's Top 5s, and I will see you on our next Top 5 video.